You remember, right? When AI voices sounded like, well, like robots. Kind of stiff, choppy, and you could spot it a mile away. Well, those days are pretty much over. We are now in a totally new era where AI voices are so ridiculously realistic they can handle actual complex back-and-forth conversations. So today, we're going to dive into how this incredible tech is making the jump from these giant global platforms right into your pocket.
I mean, think about it. We've all gotten those annoying robocalls and just click, hung up without a second thought. But what happens when the voice on the other end is so human, so quick to respond, that you genuinely hesitate? You're not quite sure if it's a real person or a machine. That's the world we're stepping into. Let's get into it.
So at the very heart of this huge shift is a platform called ElevenLabs. They've just rolled out their conversational AI version 2.0, and it is a massive, massive leap forward. We're talking about creating voice agents that aren't just multilingual and ready for big business, but are just startlingly natural. So what's the secret sauce? What makes it feel so human? Well, it's features like natural turn-taking. You know how you might pause in a conversation or someone might interrupt? The AI gets that now. It can also figure out what language you're speaking on the fly for these seamless chats. And this isn't just a toy. It's got enterprise-grade security, so it's ready for serious work.
And this right here, this is an absolute game changer. It's called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG for short. What it means is the AI isn't just reading from a pre-written script. Nope. It can actually pull live, accurate info from a database while it's talking to you. So it's not just a good talker anymore. It's a knowledgeable one. It has a brain.
Okay, so having this super powerful AI platform is one thing, but how does that actually show up in the real world? How does it get used? This is where we see the bridge from a massive cloud-based engine to a down-to-earth practical app. You know, a powerful engine needs a vehicle to actually go anywhere. And in our story today, that vehicle is a really fascinating app called Teletalker. It basically takes all that high-tech power from ElevenLabs in the cloud and puts it to work in a very specific, very hands-on way.
So Teletalker is an AI call assistant, but it's built for a very specific niche, rooted Android phones. It's designed for small businesses, helping them automate their phone calls, both coming in and going out, using that incredible voice technology we were just talking about. It's the perfect example of taking this super sophisticated AI and putting it inside a gritty, get-the-job-done kind of tool.
But how do these two things, the huge platform and the little app, actually work together? You know, the best way to think about it is like the relationship between a movie director and a very talented voice actor. Okay, here's the play-by-play of a live call. A regular phone call comes in and right away, Teletalker grabs it on the phone. It figures out the logic, what needs to be said next. Then it zips that text prompt over to the ElevenLabs API in the cloud. ElevenLabs instantly turns that text into realistic speech, sends the audio file back, and Teletalker plays it right into the call. It's this incredibly fast back and forth happening in real time.
And this really shows you their different jobs perfectly. Teletalker is the director, right there on the ground. It's managing the scene, handling the schedule, and keeping all the records on the device. Meanwhile, ElevenLabs is the A-list voice actor up in the cloud, taking direction and delivering a flawless performance every single time by turning simple text into a natural human voice.
All right, this all sounds really impressive, but what does it actually take to set this all up? Let's get into the nitty-gritty because this is where the rubber really meets the road. Yeah, this is probably the question on your mind right now. What do I actually need? Is it going to be super complicated? Is it expensive? Let's just break down the must-haves, one by one.
Okay, first things first, and this is a big one. The Teletalker app needs root access on an Android phone. This means it's not an app you're going to find on the Google Play Store. It needs really deep control of the phone system to be able to automatically manage phone calls, which is something normal Android security just won't allow.
Number 2, Teletalker itself doesn't create the voice. Remember, it's the director, not the actor. It's basically a bridge to the ElevenLabs service. So that means you need your own ElevenLabs account and what's called an API key, which you then plug into the Teletalker app. It's what connects your director to your voice actor. And because you are connecting two totally separate services, you guessed it, 2 separate bills. It's really straightforward. You pay Teletalker to automate the calls, and you pay ElevenLabs to generate the voice.
Now for the Teletalker side of things, the app charges a pay-as-you-go rate. We're talking 5 cents a minute for its service. And kind of an interesting detail, it's paid for using a prepaid system based on crypto.
And just to hammer this point home, this source material puts it in black and white. Quote, Teletalker billing
and ElevenLabs billing are separate charges. So one bill for the director and another one for the voice actor. Makes sense.
The Teletalker app also isn't a one-size-fits-all deal. It comes in a few different flavors. You've got a light version that just handles incoming calls, there's a standard version for both inbound and outbound calls, and then there's a pro version that can hook into other business software like your CRM.
Okay, let's zoom out for a second. This whole setup with Teletalker and ElevenLabs is really cool, for sure. But it actually points to a much bigger and, honestly, a much more exciting trend that's happening across the entire world of AI.
When you get right down to it, this isn't just a story about one little calling app. It's a story about the democratization of AI. What we're seeing is that these enterprise-level, super powerful platforms are now enabling small, creative developers to build tools that, just a few years ago, only giant corporations could even dream of. And just look at the doors this opens. You could have specialized AI agents for retail, for healthcare, real estate, legal services. Pretty much any industry you can imagine could benefit from having its own tailored, intelligent voice assistant.
Think about what that means for who gets to play with this technology. A few years ago, you needed a massive budget. You needed a whole team of PhDs. It was only for huge companies. But now, these platforms and their APIs are putting these exact same tools right into the hands of small businesses and even individual developers.
And that really brings us to the final, and I think the most exciting question of all. We're seeing this fundamental shift where AI stops being some mysterious, untouchable thing and instead becomes a tool in a toolbox, a tool that's available to everyone. And it just makes you wonder, when you have tools this powerful at your fingertips, what will you build?